But intimacy is this multifaceted, multi-dimensional idea. And really the best definition I've ever heard of intimacy, it's a bit of a classic one, but it's intimacy is into me, see. And for me, that's the most helpful way of expressing what I believe biblically true intimacy is. Intimacy is saying, God, you have complete access to me. There is no part of me that I withhold from you. There is no part of me that I'm not prepared to allow you to step into and to work in. And I want to look at that this morning and just kind of pull that apart. What does that look like for us to grow in intimacy with God? And looking at intimacy being intimacy, we recognize that really one of the core facets of intimacy is about vulnerability. It's not a romanticized, mushy kind of love, teenage kind of love, your first girlfriend that you had or your first boyfriend that you used to write love letters. I had a girlfriend at primary school and she used to write these love letters and then just like douse them in perfume. It's not that kind of, lovey-dovey, I'm just all gooey-eyed. That's one facet. It wasn't Abby, don't worry. I know we got married young, but we weren't together in primary school. We waited until secondary school to get together. But, intimacy isn't this mushy thing. Intimacy actually requires strength. And it requires courage. I read an amazing book by a guy called John Eldridge called Wild at Heart, and it was about recapturing this idea of godly masculinity, but understanding that intimacy really is something that requires strength and courage. It's not something that's easy because being vulnerable requires courage. It requires trust. It requires that strength to say, I'm going to allow you to see me. I'm going to allow you to see the real depths of me.